All right, let's do this. Today, we're performing what I'm calling a forensic autopsy on free tarot culture. And I want you to be prepared, this isn't going to be gentle. We're about to carve this whole thing open with pure sarcasm, dip it in a little bit of venom, and serve it up on a trash can lid. This one, it's gonna be feral.
You see, this slide, honestly, this is the whole explainer. This is the thesis, it's the conclusion, it's everything in between. Free tarot readings are nothing more than a trash bag of spiritual biohazard. And the people scrambling for them, they're the starving cockroaches just waiting to dive right in. Let's just not pretend it's anything else.
Okay, so here are the exhibits for today's little investigation. We're going to proceed with the kind of cold, methodical precision that this subject so richly deserves. Think of this as a clinical takedown. Let's just be crystal clear right from the jump. This is not a community. No, it's a dump site. It's a toxic ecosystem where let's call it spiritual wildlife, well, it's thriving. And not in a good way, not at all. And that brings us to our first piece of evidence, Exhibit A, the free tarot offer, or as I prefer to call it, the trash bag. So, shall we examine the contents? So what's inside this generous offering? Well, you've got the spiritual equivalent of leftover spaghetti that's now fused with hair, some rotten fruit that's sweating a kind of syrupy death fluid, used diapers inflated with some kind of unholy mystery, and toilet paper that has seen things. And, for ambiance, a half-broken candle that smells of sadness and mold. But don't forget to slap a label on it that says, Lightworker Vibes Only. Let me just spell it out for you. Anything that is truly valuable is not being given away for free in a Facebook group. What you're actually getting is the energetic equivalent of rooting around in a dumpster behind a gas station that went out of business 6 years ago. And now our little autopsy takes a zoological turn. It's time to conduct a study of the primary scavenger in this particular ecosystem, the free seeker. You might know them by another name, the cockroach. Their behavior is, it's flawless, entomologically speaking. First, they appear instantly. You post free card and boom, 0 seconds later, me please. Then they reproduce in the comments. One asks, 5 appear, 20 swarm. They'll fight over scraps, insisting that a completely generic card pull was absolutely meant for them. They show zero gratitude. And finally, they vanish the second you mention money. It's like flipping on the lights. Say, here's my Etsy link, and poof, they are gone. Now, you might be thinking the cockroaches are the problem. You'd be wrong. So, who's actually worse? Well, let's move on to Exhibit C, where we identify the true source of this whole infestation, the dumpster surgeon. These are the people who just keep ripping open fresh trash bags day after day, hoping that somehow the roaches will magically turn into butterflies. They say things like, I just love helping people, or feedback means so much more to me than money, and my absolute favorite, I just do it from the heart. Let me translate that for you. What they're actually saying is, please, for the love of all that is holy, like my page. Please validate my entire existence. Please let me feel needed, even if it completely drains my soul and gives me a raging case of psychic tetanus. Let's be absolutely clear about this point. Cockroaches don't transform. They infest. It's the dumpster surgeons who create the landfill in the first place. The cockroaches are just its natural inhabitants. The blame lies with the source of the garbage. Simple as that. Which brings us to our final exhibit, the digital landfill. This is what you get when you mix an endless supply of fresh trash bags with an ever-growing population of cockroaches. It's the chaotic, inevitable result. So what does that actually look like? Well, it looks like those Facebook groups you already know and probably loathe. It's people begging for readings 16 times a day. Readers drowning under 187 comments of me please. It's full-grown adults having public meltdowns because they weren't picked for a free card. It's tarot decks being treated like confetti at a rat wedding. So let me just ask a serious question here. In the middle of this screaming digital dumpster fire, is a single person actually healing? Is anyone gaining real insight? Is anybody transforming their life in any meaningful way at all? The answer is no. Of course not. No one is. They're just gnawing on spiritual garbage for a cheap, quick dopamine hit. That is all that is happening here, period. And with that, we arrive at the final verdict. And just so you know, there's no possibility of appeal. This judgment is final. What you're seeing in those groups, that is not tarot. It's trash bag spirituality. A real reading that involves emotional labor, it takes up psychic bandwidth, it requires intuitive calibration, it takes time, knowledge, skill, responsibility. It's a craft that's built on a sacred, energetic exchange. Trash bag spirituality, on the other hand, is built on desperate validation, and it delivers nothing but energetic chaos. So let's make this personal for a second. If you're a reader who is constantly offering free tarot, you are the one dragging a fresh, stinking trash bag into the alley and trying to call it charity. You are the source of the problem. And if you're one of the people who constantly beg for free tarot, then you are the spiritually dehydrated cockroach crawling across the pavement, just sniffing out rotten leftovers. There's really no dignified way to put it. And if you honestly expect enlightenment to come from any of this, well, you deserve every single karmic stomachache you get. Case closed.